What is good, y'all? This is JV here for K Vibes, and today I got another album review for you guys. Today we're going over 2PM's Gentleman's Game. Was super excited to get into this album. On my last 2PM reaction to Promise, I asked you guys, do you guys want me to check out, give a full-length review to this project? And overwhelmingly, everybody definitely wanted me to check that out, which I happily would go through because this is an album that I've revisited a number of times since it dropped, and I really enjoy it. I have pretty much nothing but praise for this particular project, and I'll get into that later. But a little background: 2PM, boy group out of JYP Entertainment, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is their 6th full-length project. So we're talking about a group who's been killing it for a minute, have an extensive discography, has found an enormous amount of success within their market, and they're going down, as one of the boy group legends out of the K-pop scene for sure. I definitely enjoy a lot of their releases. I like their more serious stuff like, Ad Toy and stuff like that. I love their more party songs like Hands Up, and they showed us the versatility in their songs. And the mindset I went into this project with was kind of like, we've seen them do so much since debut, and they've released so much material over these years. What possibly could they do this time around? What are we gonna get this time that won't come off as, recycled, trite, stale, boring, commonplace? There's a number of things. What can 2PM do at this point in their careers? And what their answer was with this project, in my opinion, was basically make a project that's just very where we are right now and in our lives. It's a mature album. It's a refined album. It has that sensual, sexy nature that we've seen a lot from their previous releases, but done from the perspective of a group who's had all that success throughout their lives, who were those young guys at one point. Now JYP, has got GOT7 for the young, cute boy concepts. So with 2PM, we're getting we're the OGs. We've had time to work on our vocals and craft our sound and work on writing and build those connections between all the members. And so at this point, we're releasing something that's true to us, true to their form. They're not out here releasing a project trying to chase all the new sounds. No, it's very true to them, but it's also has that modern contemporary feel in the production. So it's a fantastic project. So it starts out with Promise, I'll Be, which is the standout, single on this. Absolutely love this song. Again, after multiple listens, I gotta say, this is definitely one of my favorite 2PM tracks. The way that the vocals sync up with those synth swells there in the production there, the line distribution between it, the rap verses, the overall kind of unorthodox approach to the hooks and the chorus, and the way it kind of plays off the energy swells in there. I just think it's a fantastic song. It's a mature song. It's not a song that you see a lot of groups kind of dabble in this particular sound. And again, this is kind of like it kind of sets off the tone of the album, that this is not, it's gonna incorporate a lot of the electronic touches of a lot of modern music, but it's also gonna have that kind of R&B groove to it that we've come to love from them. Followed up with Uneasy, fantastic song, great single potential. And I do want to talk about that there's a number of songs on this particular project that I think have enormous single potential. If I had to choose another song to be a single, I would actually go deep into the track listing onto track 8 with How Is It. I love the energy of this song, and I think that would be a fantastic song. Everything to the instrumentation, to the vocal performance on it are A1. Track 3, Give You Class. Love the chorus on this, the way it kind of comes back in energy, and it's got that groove to it that I could only connect to the movement of the waves. That was the kind of vibe I was getting to it. It swells and it's got a groove to it, and it's got a natural flow and motion to the song that I absolutely love. Make Lovin' Without Trying, man. Love these tracks. Again, this is definitely the sensual side of 2PM's music. Want to give a shout out also to Perfume. Love the production on this. And speaking of production, track 11, Can't Stop Feeling. I absolutely love that live drum performance there, and it's an excellent way to kind of lead out the album. And I know I usually, with my album reviews, go track by track, but for this particular project, I feel like that would kind of be to its detriment, because I feel like tracks definitely kind of lead into the next one, and they're kind of like full experiences, 2-3 tracks at a time. So going track by track is kind of tough, because I can't talk about one track without particularly talking about another one. Never and Humming, I love the placement on the album, and again, there's a natural motion and progression to this particular project, and it's just showing their versatility, but in a very cohesive manner, because it definitely has this recurring theme of using kind of like EDM and electronic influences and really harsh biting synths in the production, but kind of melding that into some kind of amalgamation between like live instrumentation. You get the live percussion, you got live brass leads right there, and some beautiful guitar and piano touches there on some of the latter half in those tracks, but also at the same time getting these vocals that are bordering on some kind of like R&B soul kind of type, and then there's some like straightforward pop performances there on some of the choruses there. I love the feel of My Last. Love the lyrics to this one too. I gotta give a quick shout out to the writing on this project. I think they did a fantastic job. I did look at some of the credits there. A lot of group participation, and again, that's something you could definitely expect for a group who's been in the game for a minute, really crafting that sound. You see it from a number of groups. You'll see it in groups like Big Bang and stuff like that, where they keep everything in-house for the most part, and a lot of the groups are doing their own writing for sure, so I can definitely have to give it credit, because I mean, a lot of K-pop groups out here releasing songs that are okay, but with teams of writing behind there, so it's like, how much credit can you really give? But 2PM, man, they absolutely went above and beyond the Call of Duty with this particular project. Again, I'm not super familiar with all their previous projects. I've listened to pretty much every single that they've released since debut. But I haven't gone back and listened to every single album that they've released. I've listened to a number of their mini albums though. So I definitely know, what they've done in long form content. And this is just an absolutely amazing project. I have to give a shout out to JYP putting an enormous amount of care into the full-length project that they've released. Most notably in these last few years, man, JYP are putting out a certain quality of project that is unrivaled in my opinion musically. SM is doing some great stuff too. YG, when they release stuff, it's usually pretty high quality. But JYP, in terms of like bringing out the big guns in terms of production, in terms of the writing and the overall vocal performances, and at the same time managing to get all your artists out at the same time, and not neglecting and not kind of just half-assing content and putting shit out there into the ether just to fall and die by the wayside. Man, I gotta give JYP the credit for that, man. And if I'm not mistaken, Park Jimin's promotions weren't too long, so they can definitely start pushing 2PM. And as much as that sucks, at least that follow-up content was super good, and JYP is absolutely killing it. JYP is not an agency that I've always been super in love with their releases, just because I wasn't the biggest Miss A fan at one point. I wasn't the biggest 2PM fan at one point, and at that time GOT7 wasn't really out, and then 15 and wasn't a thing. But now, with their roster, and you got G-Soul and stuff like that, they're just doing fantastic stuff in music, and I'm glad that at this point in 2016, groups like 2PM could still release things, kill it in the charts, and release these projects that are pretty much unrivaled in terms of quality by their contemporaries. So yeah, man, curious as to what y'all thought about this project. So in the comment section below, let me know, what was your favorite track on there? Did you like their single choice of Promise? I thought that was a fantastic choice, but again, I thought How Is It could have been a dope choice too. And even Uneasy and Give You Class would have been interesting choices too, because they definitely keep the vibe of like that sensual maturity that we got to see from them on this particular project. How do you think this compares to the previous releases, if you're familiar with their discography? Let me know what your thoughts on 2PM's Gentleman's Game, and I hope you guys liked the review. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is JV here. I love you guys. Bye.